Hi, this is ProACT Sam Orgill. Welcome to this week's vlog. And this week we're going to talk about there's no such thing as no deal. For EU Brexit, we've heard about will there be a deal or will there be no deal. There is no such thing as a deal. Have you ever had a negotiation for a sabbatical from work where you wanted to take an extended leave for a holiday, for children, for family, for health reasons? And isn't there always some give and take that needs to occur between you and the boss? Or have you ever tried to return a fridge or a TV that isn't quite right for you, that doesn't work, where you have to negotiate the return, the repair, or the repayment, or the exchange? And what about with a divorce? I mean, in the UK, they're only just thinking about no deal divorces. There has to be somebody's fault for the divorce. There has to blame somebody, but then there still needs to be a financial settlement, arrangements for residency and custody of children, and a split and a share of the assets. So there has to be a deal. The key requirement when you know that there needs to be a deal in any agreement is if more than one person is involved. Sometimes with just one person they still have a conflict within themselves, but putting that to one side, if there's more than one person involved, then you need a negotiation, you need a deal. With the UK, we have a sovereign country and they want to remain a united union. But within the UK, we have the North-South divide, which is born of Viking invasion of the North, as opposed to the Anglo-Saxon German South. And those hundreds of years later, those North v South is still evident within the culture within the UK. You've got Wessex and Essex and Middlesex and Sussex. They could appeal to their Anglo-German roots. You've got the Cornish and the Gaelic Welsh that would consider themselves to be the original Britons. And then you've got the Scottish that hide behind the Roman Hadrian's Wall. And in Northern Ireland, you definitely got two cultures and two languages. But you've still got a United Kingdom. In the 20th century, we had the creation of these very large continental countries, the USSR, Greater China, and in the 20th century, during the Second World War, we also created the idea of the EU, which is based upon a European view that if you're a Viking, then you're a raider, you're invading, you're aggressive, and you're there to plunder. But those same Vikings coming from Northern Europe were also, they could be traders, and the European traders forged trade links all around Europe and around the world for many centuries, before the Romans and afterwards. But as we've seen with the creation of bigger countries like Russia and rigid political systems like in China, they don't always last forever. The bigger country may still need their independence. And this is what we're seeing with Brexit. And there has to be some arrangement, and there has to be some agreement. And I also have to stop waving my camera around. I haven't got a cameraman today. This is me doing it live to you. The alternatives, grammatically speaking, there's one alternative. So the alternatives with Brexit are for a simple withdrawal treaty or a complicated withdrawal treaty. A simple withdrawal treaty, it covers the basic niceties and leaves all the details of the financial settlement, the split of assets, and the trading arrangements in the future to be settled later on. A complex withdrawal treaty covers all the arrangements now and may include a transition treaty during which a full trade and customs agreement can be negotiated as an alternative. Complex or simple, that's the option. So what is the situation for expats? Well, again, there's an alternative. We know for certain two things. One, we know how the UK and separately the EU treat how they treat people from third countries. So we know that those rules will apply to UK expats in the EU and EU expats in Cyprus. EU expats in Cyprus and the UK after Brexit. But similarly, we know how what the rights of EU citizens are within the EU. So if a UK expat has permanent residency rights or dual citizenship within the EU, they will retain those EU rights. So those are the two alternatives. If there's no deal, then there's a simple withdrawal treaty, and the worst thing that can happen is that we're working under third country rules going forward for expats in Europe, in the EU or in the UK. If there's a full withdrawal treaty, then there will be a transition period and time to adapt and change. But business and family with overseas property and pensions need to understand what those options are. And what we do know is that if you have relocated as an expat into the UK before Brexit, or into the EU as a UK expat in the EU before Brexit, then you're going to be able to retain your rights in the long term. And so this is the option that we're moving towards. To get more insight and more understanding of what your rights are, we produced a guide for expats on how EU Brexit will affect overseas property, business and pensions. You can go along to our website at proactpartnership.com and have yourself a copy, and then you can find out more about how your family, how your business, how your overseas property, how your taxation, your pensions will be affected by Brexit. We have certainty already. There will be change. That there will be no change is immaterial at the moment. So let's anticipate what they are. And with the guidance from ProACT Partnership, go along to our website. We'll be with family and business supporting them in the coming years and months with Brexit. Go along to our website at proactpartnership.com, download your copy of the guide, and comment on our Facebook page at livinginworld.com. We love to hear your comments and share those with you, and hope you can listen to us next time at our next broadcast, which will be available by registering on our email or watching our blog at proactpartnership.com. Thanks for listening this time. See you soon.